Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of 3-in-1 Reviews, where I review three things in one video in about 30 minutes. Today's review is about the Zoids vs. series, which lasted 3 games. It came out at around 2002, and that's when the first game came out, by the way. And the last game came out in 2004. Whoo. Okay. It's a GameCube game series, as you can tell. Um, and it's a Zoids battle simulator type of game. Uh, today, so the first thing we'll do is talk about the similarities. Similarities are basically this. Zoids Battle, Zoids Mission, and Zoids Versus as the first. These three modes are included in every game. Zoids Battle is a 2-on-2 battle tournament type of gameplay where you and a partner computer battle two computers, and you go down the line. Mission mode is a story mode. Versus mode is one-on-one. That's it. It's a one-on-one battle mode where you can use your custom Zoids. So let's begin with more similarities. Zoids vs. 1 and 2 takes place in, we're gonna say, in the chaotic era, in the Zoids chaotic century era, or world, I should say. In that it's about Republic versus Empire. I like this story arc better than Zoids vs. 3, and I will get into that later. So, and that's basically all that Zoids vs. 1 and 2 has. Zoids vs. 3 and 4 has one extra mode. It is called Zoids Fist. Zoids Fist is basically similar to Versus, except that instead of playing in a larger arena, you're only playing in a small ring. And your goal is either to knock your opponent off the ring, out of the ring, or destroy them completely. Zoids vs. 1 and 2, I forgot to mention, is the only one that has the Koenig Wolf heavy arms featured in the Zoids webcomic, as seen here, along with one of the webcomic characters. Yes, there's a reason for this. Anyway, so now we will get into the actual reviewing. I gave you a little bit of what each game had in similar. So the first is Zoids Versus. Zoids Versus the story. First, we'll go into the story. Quick, no. So the Zoids Versus follows these two teams. In mission mode, you are allowed to choose between Blue Unicorn. By the way, I love that symbol right there, the Blue Unicorn symbol, or Road Tigers. You play throughout the game. You play as one of these three characters. And in battle mode, you can play as all these characters. You unlock these characters by playing the story mode. that's how it is with all the story modes, by the way. Otherwise, you only play as them or something. I think only them. So Zoids Versus is not the best of the three games. The targeting is lacking. Yes, we're in the gameplay now. Targeting is lacking. In that, like, if you're playing using a medium type Zoid and you're battling a smaller one, your attacks go over. It doesn't lock on and adjust to the smaller size if you're like really close. And then your melee attacks, your close range attacks, do not. It tends to, if you're using like a Liger's attack is more of a jump, and so if you're too close, you end up jumping over your enemy. So yeah. Oh, similarities in the story mode. The story modes allow you to give you the option of choosing whether to fight with certain characters you run into and not fighting, and I guess kind of fighting against them, because that ends up what happens anyway. So like, throughout the story mode, you'll run into, like, in Zoids Versus 1 and 2, if you play as the Blue Unicorn, you'll run into characters from Road Tiger, and vice versa. And you can choose to fight along with them, which then sometimes requires you to protect them, or you just have them as a partner. Whereas other times, or you can choose to fight against them, which then them and the people you're fighting against will come after you. Yeah, it doesn't make sense either. It doesn't make sense to me either. But that's how it is. And so especially if that character's the one being attacked and you're like, hey, I'm gonna save you. Wait, do I want to? No, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, so that's basically going to be my review for Zoids Versus. The battle mode. Oh, speaking of battle modes are not like random generated. It's already a set party that you're fighting against, which means sometimes the character you choose is fighting against the same character. You're fighting against the character you chose while you chose that character. So, but yeah, it's not a random generator. It's set characters you're fighting against. Just that in Zoids Versus 2 and 3, you're fighting. It depends on what scenario your character's from, what era your character's from, I guess. So if your character is based on the games, you only play against characters based on the games. That includes Zoid Saga 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and Fusers. Or if you play a character from Fusers, you only play characters from Fusers. That's only done in Zoids Versus 3. But you get the idea now. So that's the review for Zoids Versus 1, anyway. Next is Zoids Battle Legends. Oh, wait, what? Oh, Zoids Versus 2, also known as Zoids Battle Legends. Zoids Battle Legends gives you a bigger Zoids roster, as well as introduces new characters. In the story mode, you play as one of these two characters. Same as Zoids Versus, you're choosing between Republic or Empire to play as. In no way can you play as the third party, unfortunately. Would have been interesting to see their story, but you can't. So you play as these two characters, and depending on what team you're with, you end up going through missions and gaining the rest of your team. Actually, this isn't the full roster. There's more to them. In fact, with Van and Fiona, or Finne, there's actually this one actually brought in the younger versions of them, whereas in Zoids Versus, you only had the adult versions. Like same with Raven. It's oh, so yeah, Zoids Versus 2 allowed you had a bigger roster in battle mode, and you had the Zoids Fist, and you had the mission mode. So yeah, that was basically what the mission mode was about. Zoids Versus 2 introduced the Desert Liger, which is nothing special. It's basically just a Liger, a shield Liger built for desert combat. So it basically has like an air conditioner in the cockpit, and it's a tan color, and that's it really. It's basically just a shield Liger. It's a blue unicorn shield Liger. That's all it is. So let's see, did I miss anything about that? Not really. But yes, you can play the game, you can play Zoids Versus 2 in English under the name Zoids Battle Legends. I do, if you're as far as if you're wondering about the voice cast of the Japanese voice cast, by the way, Zoids Battle Legends unfortunately does not allow you to change between English and Japanese voices. Would have loved it, would have preferred it. It doesn't. It also introduced in as a secret code the Liger Zero Phoenix. That guy. But yeah, it was as a code. As far as the Japanese voices go, I want to say they might be the original voices from the anime. I'm just saying. Hoping. Wanting. But yes, as far as the English voices, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not at all. So yeah, so you can play Zoids Versus 2 as Zoids Battle Legends if you want. Unfortunately, you will not. If you did that, you would not get the added things that you can get from having a Zoids Versus file, like the DCSJ right there. That you also get some extra BP in Zoids Battle, and yeah, that's about it. But all the codes still work, which give you I forgot what. I think they unlock the Ultrasaurus and all that. Which, yes, in the versus mode, you can play as the bigger Zoids. You can play as the Ultrasaurus. You can play as the Deathsaur. You can play as the Mad Thunder. Mad Thunder. Okay, and stuff like that. It's an alright. It's a better game. They also included the first-person sniping mode, which Zoids versus did not have. Oh yes, and by the way, by saying this game series is a Zoids battle simulator, what I mean is it's in third person. Can you believe how hard it is to snipe something in third person? It's difficult, man. It's way difficult. Anyway, so that's it for Zoids versus 2, I guess. Zoids versus 3 introduces the raised tiger and allows you to play as the Liger Zero Phoenix. This is my Liger Zero Phoenix. What? Why is your Liger Zero Phoenix blue? According to the game, my Liger Zero Phoenix is the blue unicorn Liger Zero Phoenix. Yes, apparently blue unicorn ends up getting a Liger Zero Phoenix, but we never see that in the story at all. In battle mode, okay, so the thing about Zoids versus 3 is that they also included, oh, by the way, I forgot, I messed up, sorry. So yes, Zoids versus 3. Zoids versus 3 story mode takes place in the Zoids Fuser series. Like, I think it's halfway through the, in the beginning half of the series. It's probably before Artie gets his Liger Zero Falcon, because the Liger Zero Falcon ends up being is actually a unlockable through code. So yeah, it's probably the first. Yeah. So anyway, as for that, so in Zoids versus 3, they include a flight mode. Yay! Now you can fly. Just think happy thoughts, people. Happy thoughts. Sorry. So in Zoids versus 3, they've incorporated flight mode. They've also where you now have the access of flight Zoids. Those aren't flight Zoids, are they? Like a Zubat, a Salamander, Storm Sorter, yeah. Oh, and a Terrace Bomber. So the unfortunately the color schemes are lacking because the roster is so much bigger in both the Zoids and characters. Vocals are cut down, color schemes are cut down, One, for instance, being the Conic Wolf Heavy Arms, the blue Conic Wolf Heavy Arms. That one's cut out completely. You end up having the brown Conic Wolf Heavy Arms. I don't know what it's called. I don't know who pilots it. I didn't follow Zoids fusers very often, very much. But if you did, you know what I'm talking about. Or Conic Wolf. It's alright. The fun part is that, yes, they included a flight capability. They included flight playability. So that on itself makes the game fun. Story mode, they changed it to being only in mission mode. It's now you have, instead of having Republic versus Empire, you have easy and normal. Yeah, I'm disappointed too. That's because there's only one story mode. There's only one-sided. It's a one-sided story mode. You basically play as a test pilot for Zoitech, which is a development company in the Zoids fusers era, and you interact with Zoids fusers characters. There's like this other group that you kind of do combat with at one point, but you don't really do. There's nothing for that group, as in like their own story. So this is some of the roster you have. If you're a fan of the Zoids fusers, you'll be like, oh yay, he's in it. Oh, they're in it. Yay. Okay. So yeah. Oh, Zoids versus 3 has 4 players. What? 4 players? How can that be? How awesome is that? Yeah. It's not really. The 4-player battle mode is you get all 4-player battle mode is you get to choose between you choose your character and choose between preset Zoids. So, and which is a limited amount, by the way. And then you battle against 3 other people. I think you can have teams. I'm not sure. Yes, you can have teams. But yeah, it's nothing special. One thing I was disappointed about was that they did put a blade limit, energy blade limit on your on bladed Zoids. So like Storm Sorter, Blade Liger, stuff like that. So you can't spam with the blades. In the other 2 games, it's infinite. I am disappointed with that, yes. So am I. So am I. There's also a Zoids Museum, which all it is you can look at different Zoids and stuff you can look at the 3D model, and that's basically it about those. Then, yeah, they got rid of the Ultra Z, which I believe I said it. I said that the Ultra Z is basically a game breaker. Once you acquire enough bits to buy 3, um, once you acquire enough BP to acquire 3, you just load those onto, even just 1 or 2 can really make a difference. And you just load those into your Zoids and you're pretty much God. Yeah, you don't, nothing, you can barely get touched. Especially with 3. 3, you can just walk through, you can just go through the game and killing all your all your opponents in battle mode that way. Yeah. Oh, yes. You have commands. Basically using the directional buttons, you can tell your partners, hey, go here, do this, go do this. Well, kind of, not really. It's more like one is to attack, another is to defend, another is close range, long range, whatever. Something like that. I can't read it. I don't know. But yeah, something like that anyway. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's late. Very, very late. But who am I kidding? I'm going to probably play a few. Final verdict. I recommend these games. I recommend Zoids versus 2 and 3. 3, despite the lack of the story mode change, I like it. It's I like it for its flight capabilities and the special things. Even though they took out a lot of things, I still like it for certain reasons. Zoids versus 2 I like because of certain reasons as well. Because it's a fun game. Both are fun games. Zoids versus 3 also has like a skidding type of technique, so like you can be like, I'll use him. So you'll be like, and you're like, yo, oh well, you can run and you can be like, and slide, and it's pretty cool. And you see like some little sparks. Anyway, my time is up. So, like, subscribe. I'll probably try and get more reviews soon. I probably won't. I'll try not to ramble as much. But I recommend these games if you're a Zoids fan. If you're a mech fan, pick them up if you can find them. They're fun. These 3 you'll probably need a Japanese system. But if you want to go with the English version, go with the English version. Although Zoids vs 3 is a nice one. Anyway, so that's it for me. I'm done. Adios.